Lynn Rossetto Casper, to the Splendid Table, pretty sure she said that buy organic when you can, and I think probably because she thinks it's more nutritious and it tastes better, especially it tastes better. So do you think people are wasting their money when they buy food they think is better for that reason?
Yes, no, and maybe. Because it's a complicated question. If you buy organic because your neighbor produces organic and you want to support your neighbor, it's a good thing to do, right? I think we would all agree with that. If you think it's more nutritious, you're wrong, because that's, and the meta-analysis of the research literature shows that it's not more nutritious. They constantly argue that, and it is very disingenuous of them to do so because they know it's not true. In fact, of the chemical differences between organic foods and conventional foods, it ends up actually being something like tomatoes and strawberries may have more antioxidants in them, and antioxidants aren't nutrients. It's that simple. And you don't call one group of foods, organic versus conventional, more nutritious if one member of one variety of one kind of thing has one nutrient that may or may not be higher. That's kind of what they're basing their claim on. Does it taste better? Actually, there's a literature in the food science journals that shows that in blind testing, people do not perceive equally matched samples as tasting any differently. It's pretty clear literature. What does happen is if you go to a local organic farm and buy fresh vegetables, and then you go to the supermarket and buy fresh vegetables that are non-organic and compare them, the ones that were picked today in the organic farm are going to taste better than the ones that have been sitting 3 weeks in the supermarket. So when you pick, grow fields side by side and pick tomatoes and blindly test them in a double-blind test, people can't detect any difference. If there is a difference, this is a peculiar one, organic foods tend to have a higher solids content, lower water content. And that can result in a sense of more sort of richness or fullness or more intensity. It's really a higher intensity because of the higher salt concentration. And by the way, with tomatoes, it's MSG. I don't know how many of you know this, but tomatoes have more MSG than you'd ever eat in a Chinese meal, a single tomato. So if you think you're sensitive to MSG, you might rethink that.